So today I have to change the brushes and the brush holders in this 18 volt Makita LXT angle grinder. Here we go. Hello, you're very welcome to Gerry's DIY. If it's your first time here and you'd like to learn how to make stoves, waste oil burners, today we're fixing angle grinders. You could start now by subscribing and click on the bell notification so you don't miss anything. Okay, so with that out of the way, we've got an 18 volt Makita LXT angle grinder that I've had for about 12 years. It's in urgent need of brushes, so it's either fix this or throw it out and get a new one. So I believe it's fixable. The brushes and the brush carrier have actually melted and worn away and a whole lot, so it's you know, it's bad. Now generally you don't need much to take these apart. It's just Phillips screws. I think there's 4 on the top. Okay, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 screws to come out of it, so it should be handy. So I'm going to take the guard off and the bits off it, just so as you can see it. Right, now I modified the guard on this thing. I made it a bit bigger so it could take bigger discs. So I just cut slices in it. Now it's rough, but you know, it protects me, it's good enough. So look, let's take it apart. We'll pull this off. Okay. A bit energetic, but there we go, look, it's off. I'll just keep the parts together if I can. Now, I have a magnetic tray. Very handy for this sort of thing. We'll just throw the screws into it as we go. Okay, so we've the guard off. Let's take these 4 screws out. Okay. Now, just to speed taking this thing apart, I'm just going to use a little impact driver just to pull the screws out of it. All right, that's the last screw. Okay, that's what we have in here. Yeah, I do see some grease in there, but look, there's no grease on this. Now, as I said, this thing is old. It's 12 years old, and it's got savage use. I've used it for cutting masonry and all sorts of stuff. But you know what? The bearing feels good in it. Yeah, it does smell a bit of burning, so hopefully it survived it. Right, here we go. Let's pull the rest of it apart. Okay, so we'll leave that there. I'm going to have to put some grease in this as well, I would say. Right. So I was already at the brush holders on this machine. That's how I knew they were gone. This one, the cap was actually fused on and I couldn't get it off without breaking it. And I can see the armature in there. It looks okay. Okay, so to get the brushes out, screwdriver in under that and lift it. Okay, I know it's not magnetic, we'll just put it in there to keep it tidy. And then to get these open, I've had this open already, so if they don't screw open, chances are they're fused. Okay, so that's the cap. Now the brush itself is actually fused on this one as well, so it's stuck. Normally you just get under that and pull the whole thing up, but no. So look, we have it split, so we'll work that. Now, so I just want this to come up a little bit. Okay, that was easy. Again, just a little bit. And now we're going to work this open. Okay, we'll get a bigger screwdriver just to spread it. Okay, so these magnetic tool holders, fantastic and cheap. You know, maybe £6 or £7, something like that, £8. So literally I'm just spreading this open. Right, well, there we go, it just released. So being gentle with it. Okay, so you can see dust and stuff in there. So with this open now, what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the windings. And the windings are still copper coloured. You know, there's not little bubbles or black bits on it. but the brush, this thing is all gone. So the part we're going to change out is this white thing here. Again, let's lift this thing up. Okay, so what I'm looking to do is get the motor to slide out a bit. Oh, there we go. So you can see it slid out of position. We want to get it out of the case. Just a little bit of pressure on that. And we're looking to get this thing out. Okay, there we go. Now yours might look a little bit different to this because I've already taken the brushes out of the holder, but the holders are stuffed. Now I don't know at this point if I have to solder stuff on or what. Okay, so we have wires going to the little indicator, you know, if it's getting over pressure or something like that. Oh look. So this brush is stuck and this one is out. And let's have a look at the pack and see what we've got. What I don't know at the moment is I don't know how they're wired, you know, if they're on spade connectors or actually soldered on. It looks like most likely spade connectors. Right, let's keep the pieces separate. Right there. Okay, let's get rid of some screwdrivers. All right. I'm just giving myself a bit of space here. All right, so they're caps, covers rather, and these are the caps that go over them. Right, so far so good. Right, there's the brushes. Just made in China. I know Trump is going nuts with the Chinese, but you know what? It makes fixing stuff affordable for now anyway. Until they stop making stuff, I suppose. All right. Okay, so look, it is spade connectors. All right, so polarity matters on this, I would imagine. So black to black and red to red. Let's take the black out first. Okay, good. So the black's out. Let me just get the red one to come out now. Okay, and it did. Okay, so there's the setup. It's a tight fit. Right, that's it in. The red now. Could go in a bit more. Yeah. All right, that's the red and the black in. Gently. On the motor housing itself, there's a notch. See the notch? Okay, so that notch lines up with this. So when I get that in there, I have to rotate it so that, you know, I'm getting a connection with that. Something you could do if you wanted is on the back of it, you know, you could put yourself a mark. And that way you'll know, you know, when you're roughly when you're lined up. Okay, so here we go. Now this is like trying to put a bag of frogs together. It's a bit little bit awkward. Everything needs to be in its place to go in, including the switch. Switch is actually here, but it goes down here and makes connection with the switch there. Okay, so I can see with that mark now, you know, that I need to be perpendicular off that surface, so we'll just work that in a bit. And the brush housing as well, not giving anything too much pressure. Okay, so I'm going to rotate the indicator so that, you know, the equivalent of the bulb where the LED lights up. Work this fella down. Yeah, so it's not that easy, you know, it can be done. A little bit of patience. Okay, so I'm lining up the brush carrier now so that it wants to go into the slot, which it does now. Okay. Right, remember that line I showed you? That needs to line up with this. I think it's just done it. Okay, so we're almost there. You can see that lining up there. Okay, so that's it. You know, the top is lined up with the outer casing. The brushes are in the right position. Right, so that's it. We're back together. You know, we have the plastic indicator in, we have the top on, we have the brush holder in, and the little wires that go up to the indicator. You can, you know, just make sure that they're routed. You know, they're down in their little slot. Okay, so their little slot is there. That way, when you put the top case on, you know, you're not going to be pressing down on them and damaging them. Now this machine got a hard time cutting wet and dry. So look, let's put the top on. Be great if this works. I miss it. Okay. Get the switch. All right. Well, they're actually clipped together, which is fantastic. The brush carriers are in the right positions. And it's spinning nicely, look. That's very good. Great indication that, you know, you've put it together properly. Now, I'm not saying this isn't difficult. You know, it's tricky. You know, everything has to line up properly. You have to have a bit of an understanding. But, you know, look, I'm doing this blind. I haven't seen this done before, so logical enough. So look, we put a couple of screws back in it. Copper grease. Right, so I'm just going to throw a bit in here. There's no there's no fixed amount. If I put too much in, I'm sure it'll squirt out. So now look, I haven't read any manuals, so I'm not certain that you have to put grease in here. I did spy some grease in there. I would imagine you do. Okay. So look, we just threw that amount in it. It's better than it was. So let's put some long screws in it. Now this magnetic stuff is new to me. I've never had a magnetic tray before. I've had magnets, obviously, but yeah, and they're only a few euro, so well worth it. All right, let's throw this back together. Now we have it all back together, so we haven't put the brushes and the caps back in yet, so let's get them going. Right, so the brushes. Now if you look at the brush itself, these brushes are brand new. If you look at them, they've got a little kind of a horseshoe shape in them. Hopefully you can see that. All right, and that's the way they go in. They, you know, when you look in, you can see the armature, and that thing wraps the armature. So that's it. Right, I've pushed it in. These caps then hold that in. So that'll want to spring out. Right. I've turned that one in by hand. Get the other one on now. So again, there's a little arc on this, and that wraps the armature. Okay, that's it on. We need another cap. Right, and a big screwdriver then for putting it on. Now don't force these. I've got them just in hand tight, and I mean just, you know, treat them as though they're made of cheese. Okay. Right, let's give this a battery. Alright, let's hit the button and see what happens. Whoa! See the dust? Okay. Whoa! But look, it lives again, which is fantastic. And sounds powerful enough. Right, so it's going to get its guard back on it. Now, as I said, I modified that guard to take bigger discs. But look, I've had this thing a long time. I've had it 12 years or something. It's been in all sorts of predicaments. It's done wet and dry. And the fact that it still goes is a testament to Makita, because I've abused this tool. But look, it lives again, which is fantastic. So this is the back plate. Put that on. Okay. And I have some discs. Put a disc on this now. Okay, so we just throw a disc in. Alright, that worked great. The thing with these brush holders is they're only plastic. If you go mental with a big fat screwdriver, you're going to kill them. So, you know, these things stop them coming out. Let's push that in. What did I do with it? Here we go. Alright, there's one on. Second one's going on it now. Or will do if I don't lose it. Okay. And that's it. That's my Makita angle grinder. Back working again, which is fantastic. So that's it. These Makita angle grinders are fantastic. I've had this a long time. It's done a lot of work. It's been very reliable. Just lately back though, as the brushes wore, it started to get, you know, a bit hit and miss, and then it started to smell as though it was heating. And sure enough, it did heat, and it, you know, burnt out the brush carrier, this thing, and one of the brushes is stuck in it. So it's pretty bad. You can see it there. But easy enough to change and well worth doing. So look, you know, save one of these from a dumpster or a skip and fix it yourself. I'm going to leave it there for now. If you liked the video, please thumbs up, subscribe down here. That'd be fantastic. See you all in the next video. Bye for now. Good luck.